For Fallout over Baldur's Gates, okay, I was a Fallout lover. I loved 1 and 2. I love 2D isometric top-down Fallout. I'm a huge fan, but I don't know if I want to replay 2. 2 is my favorite. I don't know if I want to replay it because it's just annoying to play through sometimes. just physically like navigating through everything. It's not the worst, but I've already replayed it like I think 3 times now, so I'm good. I'm good. You're so spoiled on New Vegas. New Vegas was great, and you know why? You know why New Vegas was everyone's favorite 3D? Because it was written by the same people that wrote 1 and 2, Fallout 1 and 2, the top-down isometric ones that I liked. It was the same team that handled it, 1, 2, and New Vegas. And then everyone was like, oh my god, New Vegas was so good. And I'm like, because they were good. Because they were great, man. I try to encourage people to play the first and second game because genuinely the writing, the story was so good. So good. They had some of the actual worst fucking villains. And the characters were just so human. I don't know. They did a really good fucking job. So I wish people would, even if they don't want to play the games, at least read through the story and or like watch videos on it or something, just to get to kind of absorb it. But playing it is, you know, it's not the same. People have to go crazy over Mr. House, but they never met the Master. Dude, the Master is so disgusting. You know, old Fallout had that kind of like gross, almost claymation looking graphics in a way, really nasty. And then the Master was just gross. I mean, obviously the character himself was terrible, but I hated looking at Myron's face. Probably the worst character in the whole fucking game, in my opinion. Just an absolute horrible character. But also I just hated looking at him. He's just, oh, I just got like the heebie-jeebies looking at his face. Yeah, he was gross. He was gross. You love the atmosphere in Fallout 1? Yeah. Like the Master, the desire to convert humanity to species that could survive the wasteland. Yeah. Like all of the... I loved the writing by that group because they made... All of the villains had really, really, really good reasoning for doing what they were doing. Whether it was like it made sense or it was just, oh yeah, this person's just stupid, so they did this thing. But there was always like a setup and scenario where you could really understand from that character's perspective why they were doing what they were doing. Which is good writing. Like every single villain, it should be like, you know what? If I was in their shoes, I get how they got there. That's the best way to write a villain. To make something kind of understandable. And yeah, it was just really, really, really well done. If you have enough intelligence, you don't have to physically fight the Master because his whole plan was stupidly flawed. Yeah. He just wasn't like... He wasn't as smart as he thought he was. He wasn't as thought out as he thought he was. And so, yeah, if you get... That's the thing I really liked about the game. Intelligence heavily affected how things went to the point where, yeah, if you get to the end and you have high int, you don't even fight him. You don't even fight him because you're just like, your plan is bad, here's why. And you just tell him like all the issues in his plan and he's like, huh? It's great. Yeah, the low int runs are really interesting. Really, really interesting. Love how the low int, high int affecting dialogue choices and NPCs react to you. The low int runs, you basically are like a caveman. If you're super low int and you do a full low int run, you don't increase it. Some of the characters, like, you get tricked by a lot of characters that are smarter than yours. And then in general, you kind of like brute force your way through a lot of things. You are able to make choices like just punching a thing when you wouldn't be able to if you didn't have that low int, right? Like, yeah, the dialogue is rewritten entirely, which is cool. It's not just the answers your character can give, it's the entire scenario. All the dialogue is redone. It's cool, man. It's really, really cool. The Enclave Garden too with the low int run. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool shit like that. So, yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. But yeah, I if you guys haven't played Fallout 1 and 2, I actually really highly recommend it. Even though they're older, they're still good to play through. They're not too jank. And I want to see, I think, are they on Steam? Fallout, a post-nuclear role-playing game. Fallout 2, a post-nuclear role-play. Yeah, okay. Both of them are on Steam. I was pretty sure they were, but I didn't want to say that until I confirmed because I couldn't remember. Yeah, they're on there, so, I mean, no reason not to. You should do it. They're on GOG. They're on GOG. So, someone tell me again how they're on GOG. You saw a storyline in Vampire Masquerade where you convince someone that you're their pet turtle. Yeah, the writing in a lot of those is just, it's goofy as hell. It's really, really good. But yeah, I suggest playing 1 and 2. They were so good, man. 1 aged a little worse. For sure, I would still say play through it. I mean, hey, I played through it at the time and it was fine. Okay, it was all right. But yeah, 2 has been improved a lot from what I've heard. I don't know. I just went through and replayed 2 multiple times back in the day. So I haven't really played any of the newer versions of it or anything like that. Voice acting in 1 surprised you with how great it was? That's the thing. Very old games, fully voice acted. Like voice acted all over the place. Really, really, really good. So if you like that about things like Baldur's Gate, you have that. You have that. You love reading about the lore in the world in Fallout, but it's not a visual style you find fun watching. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it either. I still play them because I like the games themselves. I don't like the aesthetic of post-apocalyptic desert world kind of thing either. I genuinely don't like it. I don't like wastelands. It just is very unappealing to me. I'd rather play in a game that is filled with greenery or wintry areas or something like that. Like yeah, Nuked Out California. I don't like it either. I'm completely with you. I still play the games, but yeah, everything's gray and brown. What about the Mad Max films? Didn't like them either. They were okay. I just didn't love them. I just hate the desert. I just hate the desert. Surprisingly, I liked the way they did Dune, but I think it's because the lighting and the cinematography were nice. But wasn't a fan overall. They also found ways in that movie to try and make blue scenery as much as they possibly could. You know. You hate sand? Yes. Yep. The classic. I do hate sand.